What's up guys, it's Max Merck here, and today I have a video I've wanted to do for a very long time. Before we get started, I'd like to extend a big thanks and shout out to Jim Coleman Infiniti, located here in Bethesda, Maryland, for providing both of these cars, Mercedes GLA and this brand new INFINITI QX30. And if you guys are interested in either of these cars or any brand new or used INFINITI, be sure to check them out. They have a huge selection of new and used cars here. So let's get started. Here in front of me, I have two cars that are from different manufacturers, but are almost the same, almost identical. Of course, it is the Mercedes GLA and the INFINITI QX30. I mean, right off the bat, just looking at these cars from the front, from the side, and even from the back. So we've established that they're very similar cars, but I'm here to show you guys that that similarity is more than just skin deep. In my hand, I have the keys for both of these cars, and I want you guys to try and guess which one is which. Well, whether you guessed it or not, here they are, and as you can see, they are just hilariously similar. I mean, down to the shape, down to everything, the buttons. The only kind of difference I can see is that the INFINITI key is kind of a matte aluminum finish, whereas this is a chrome finish, like a mirror-like chrome. And the INFINITI key only has the lock and unlock button, whereas the Mercedes has the lock, unlock, and the trunk release button right here. However, the panic buttons are identical. Now, if I were to go ahead and open up the mechanical key to each one, you can see this is the INFINITI one. And if you look closely on the INFINITI one, it even has the Mercedes logo right there. So this is a direct Mercedes key. Just to prove it to you guys, this is the genuine Mercedes key. There you have it on both of these. You can see Mercedes right there, Mercedes on here. Both of these cars are fairly well-optioned cars, so this is going to be a pretty fair comparison. But let's start off with the body styling. This is where the differences are pretty much the most apparent in the styling. Obviously, this is a Mercedes, that's an INFINITI. So if you look at this grille, this front bumper, the headlights, the mirrors, yet if you do look closely, you can see some similarities. First of all, the door handle. This is the door handle of the QX30. You got a little keyhole right there. And this is the door handle to the Mercedes. So besides having that little chrome strip on top, they are identical. And as a matter of fact, that chrome strip is a Mercedes part. Another similarity right here is the roof rails. As you can see, the roof rails of the GLA are almost identical, if not identical, to that of the QX30. Next up, let's go to the engine. So if I open it up, I'll go open up the hood of the QX30 while we're here as well. The hood releases to these cars are identical. Infinitis have the hood release right, oh man, that's really dark. But they have it right kind of where your shin or foot would be. However, Mercedes has it right above, like right above where your feet would be. Process of opening the hoods on these cars are absolutely identical. So let's go ahead and start off with the Mercedes. Now you guys want to take a good look at this engine. Besides from this engine cover, they are absolutely identical. So you have this little intake going in here. You have your battery located right there. Now if I come over to the INFINITI, same exact thing. You have the intake right here. The engine cover is almost identical, just with the INFINITI badge. Like I said, the battery is right here again. So this is the engine cover of the INFINITI. You can see it kind of has these two little divots right here. And back to the Mercedes, same exact thing. Kind of have these two little divots right here. And that is your Mercedes logo right there. Now, both of these cars have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And both of these cars, same engine, put out 208 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Same exact powertrain, exactly the same. In fact, if you were to take off this engine cover and look inside the engine, the belts, a lot of these components have Mercedes parts numbers on them. Even look right here. Right now, this is the QX30. And if we look where the coolant cap is, it says, "Do not open when hot." And it says the same thing in German right there. And as you know, INFINITI is not a German car. Even coming over here, the stickers on this car, see how the part numbers start with A? That's straight out of Mercedes. So let's start off with the Mercedes. On lock, you can see you have the LEDs coming on right there. And as I step into the car, take a good look at the door panel. You have your seat controls right here. This is a pretty classic Mercedes design element right here, having the seat controls on the door panel, window switch controls right there. Coming to the INFINITI, if you unlock it, headlights turn on, pretty much similar fashion to Mercedes. Come up, even the keyless go system is straight out of Mercedes. So you tap that, mirrors fold in. That's all straight out of Mercedes. And looking here, same exact thing. You have your seat controls mounted on the door panel. same lock unlock switches, memory seats, the same window controls. This is all standard Mercedes parts bin. Stepping inside, this particular car does not come equipped with keyless go. However, the Infiniti does. So for just for the video's purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and put the key in. But if this car did have keyless access, or Mercedes' keyless go system, it's the same exact button, same functionality. Now take a look at these paddles right here. I know it's a bit dark, sorry about that. The steering wheel mounted buttons, even this center display right here. If I scroll through trip, navi, audio, telephone, drive assist, service, settings. And then coming to the Infiniti, same exact thing. If you look at the steering wheel, same exact paddle shifters, same exact, pretty much the same exact steering wheel layout, same buttons right here. These light control switches, I know it's a little hard for you guys to see, with the light control switches, the parking brake release, everything is straight out of Mercedes. And you can push the start button to start, or just like the Mercedes over there, you can pull out the start button, classic Mercedes thing, and insert the key just like you did in the Mercedes. And this center instrument cluster and that display is straight out of Mercedes once again. So I can scroll, you have trip, navi, audio, drive assist, service, settings, exactly the same, exactly. Coming over here, take a look at that mirror, the SOS button, even this overhead control panel right there, all from Mercedes. The heated seat buttons right here from Mercedes, the hazards, the start stop system, parking sensors, climate control systems from Mercedes. The only thing that's not is the infotainment system. So this is nothing from Mercedes. If we go back into the Mercedes, same climate control system, however the infotainment system is completely different. The Mercedes has this kind of mounted iPad style screen, whereas the Infiniti is integrated into the dash. The Mercedes has different style vents, and the Mercedes has different buttons down here. However, if you remember from the Infiniti, the heated seat buttons, hazard lights, the eco start stop stuff, all that is exactly the same. And coming up here, mirrors the same. You have the SOS button, and then this overhead control panel is the same too. However, the one difference I spotted is the Mercedes, the sunroof switch for the panoramic roof is different than the Infiniti. Now that we've got both the cars on, I'll go ahead and show you guys the lights. This is Mercedes' intelligent light system. They're bi-xenon bulbs. Mercedes has LED taillights back here as well. Now, different to the Mercedes, the Infiniti has LED headlights. So the low beam itself is LED, whereas Mercedes is bi-xenon. And then coming towards the back here, Infiniti has their own LED taillight. Another difference I noticed is with the panoramic roof. The Mercedes' panoramic roof comes all the way pretty much back here, whereas the Infiniti's stops here. And the Mercedes is a two-piece design. This one is a one-piece design, so a little bit different design over there. As you can see, this shifter piece is located in the center console. Pull, drive, push all the way for reverse, halfway down for neutral, then park is right here, and then you have your sport, eco, and manual modes. So although it is a difference, I will tell you this is another Mercedes parts bin part. So all this stuff is straight out of like the Mercedes SL. So despite it being different than the GLA, this is once again a Mercedes part. Another thing to note on both of these cars is when you put it into reverse, with the Mercedes, you have this kind of a steering column mounted shifter. But when you put the Mercedes into reverse, you get this camera. It's just a standard backup camera with trajectory lines here. As you can see, I turn the wheel. And this is very different than the Infiniti, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. So now we're here in the INFINITI QX30, and if I go ahead and put it in reverse, like I said, the shifter on this car is down here in the center console. I put it in reverse, and this is the backup camera you get. First of all, backup camera is a little different. It's an Infiniti style backup camera, and if you look to the right over here, you have a 360-degree camera. So that is completely different than Mercedes. On the Mercedes, I don't believe, maybe on the newer ones you can, but not that I know of, you cannot get a 360-degree camera on the Mercedes GLA. And with this button down here, I can push it and cycle through. You can see here I have kind of like a curb view right there. You can see the car next to me. And then if I put the car into drive, the QX30 has a front-facing camera as well. So that's quite an important distinction. Another difference is that this Infiniti has a kind of suede Alcantara type headliner. This is a fully loaded, this is the Essential model. So this kind of has a suede headliner. Hope you guys can see that right there. The Mercedes does not. So even the fully loaded GLA does not come with a suede headliner. One more difference I noticed is that the Infiniti, if you push this button right here, it has power folding mirrors, whereas the Mercedes does not. But once again, this power folding mirror setup is straight out of Mercedes, where you lock the button the mirrors fold in on this car, whereas any other Infiniti that has power folding mirrors, it will not fold the mirrors when you lock it. But this car, since it has Mercedes' programming, I assume, through the instrument cluster. And another difference is the blind spot monitoring. So if I can go ahead and show you guys, if I start the car, I don't think I can get it to light up right now. Oh, there we go. The Infiniti blind spot monitor is right here on the inner speaker grille inside the car, in contrast to the Mercedes, where it has this little orange or red triangle. It changes between orange and red, and that's located outside on the exterior mirror. Just to prove it to you guys, this one does not have power folding mirrors. In the United States, you cannot get a GLA with power folding mirrors. I can't speak for Europe, but in the United States, you cannot. Now let's take a look at the trunk. For the Mercedes, just pull this right here, and it automatically opens right up. You have this little kind of cover here, shade to, you know, hide your cargo. And if we come over to the Infiniti, you open it just right here. However, the Infiniti does not have a power liftgate, and it does not have that shade the Mercedes has. Actually, I spoke too soon. The Infiniti does have the shade right here, but this being a brand new car, it's not yet installed, so that mounts right here and there. So those are exactly the same. Very, very similar overall. And once again, with the QX30, you have to manually close the trunk lid, whereas with the Mercedes, you come up here, push this button right here, and it closes right up. So there's no point in taking these cars out for a drive because, like I said, the transmission, the engine, all that is exactly the same. I've spent a good amount of time with both of these cars, and I can tell you they handle and drive exactly the same. To the most important question of all, why is the Infiniti just like the Mercedes? No, they did not copy it. No, they're not trying to rip it off or anything. As you saw with the key, these are genuine Mercedes parts bin parts. And the reason behind this is because Nissan, who owns Infiniti, has a little partnership with Mercedes-Benz, Daimler. And what they did is, for their QX30, they based this car off the Mercedes GLA platform. And of course, they borrowed a bunch of the parts for the QX30 from the GLA. You know, they put a different infotainment system, a little different body lines, bumpers, you know, a lot of styling elements, but a lot of the features and switches and all that stuff are straight from the Mercedes parts bin. And in exchange, the all-new Mercedes X-Class, their luxury pickup truck, it's not available in the United States. However, the X-Class is available in Europe and other countries. They just released the X-Class, it's brand new. That car is based on the Nissan Navara pickup truck. So the Mercedes X-Class pickup truck is based on the Nissan Navara pickup truck. And of course, like I said, the X-Class is not an American market car. You can only find those in Europe and other countries, so I obviously can't show you guys that car. However, if you look at the X-Class, the key is literally a Nissan key, or an Infiniti key with the Mercedes logo on it. That car has a Nissan engine. That car has a Nissan parts bin. So once again, Mercedes is not copying Nissan with that X-Class pickup truck. They're basically just borrowing it. And the reason behind this is because both of these cars are new to their segment. The QX30 is very new to Infiniti, having this, you know, small hatchback kind of crossover SUV, and Mercedes has never had a pickup truck either. So they're taking the tried and tested Nissan Navara as their platform, and Infiniti is taking the tried and tested Mercedes GLA and using that for their platform. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave any comments, questions down in the comment section below. I want to see what you guys think about this, and which one you guys like more, which one you guys think is cooler. And if you guys are interested in any of these cars, be sure to check out Jim Coleman Infiniti, located here in Bethesda, Maryland. They have a huge selection of new and used Infinitis, as you can see right here, as well as other cars like this Mercedes. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.